moving.
Choke on it, Dredd.
What's the price of a judge these days?
Million.
Incendiary. Armor.
No! Don't shoot! Please don't shoot me! No, I'm not.
The movie opens with a bleak vision of the United States, a land consumed by chaos and fear. A catastrophic event had wiped out millions, leaving behind a wasteland now known as the Cursed Earth. To contain the devastation, an enormous wall was built, separating the lifeless desert from the surviving cities. On the other side of this barrier, humanity struggles to endure. Towering skyscrapers dominate the skyline, built over the ruins of old structures that had long been destroyed. But survival comes with a cost. Overpopulation and poverty have pushed crime rates to uncontrollable levels. To fight back, a special force was created, an organization where the officers serve as judge, jury, and executioner. These enforcers are called judges. Among them stands the most feared and respected, Judge Dredd. His introduction is immediate and brutal. He is seen chasing down 3 armed criminals through the city streets. With unwavering determination, Dredd pursues them until their vehicle crashes. 2 of them are killed instantly, while the last one tries to escape. Cornered, the criminal takes a woman hostage, pressing a gun to her head. But Dredd shows no hesitation. He calmly aims and fires, putting a bullet through the man's face. Justice is swift, and all 3 criminals are eliminated. Soon after, Dredd is called back to headquarters. There, his commanding officer informs him about a new recruit, a young woman named Cassandra Anderson. Though she had failed initial evaluations, her extraordinary abilities have earned her a second chance. During her assessment, it becomes clear that she possesses powerful psychic skills, allowing her to perceive details others cannot. Despite her potential, Dredd is skeptical and voices his objection, unwilling to risk having an unproven partner by his side. The chief, however, gives him a choice: take Anderson into the field and test her in real combat. Reluctantly, Dredd agrees. He warns her sternly that failure will mean rejection. Their first mission takes them to a massive 200-story housing complex, home to 75,000 residents. But the block has fallen under the control of a ruthless drug syndicate. At its head is a violent crime lord named Madeline Mama Madrigal. Her gang distributes a powerful new drug known as slow-mo, a substance so addictive and widespread that it dominates the entire building. Mama rules with cruelty, ensuring no rival dealer dares to challenge her authority. One day, 3 men are dragged before Mama after being caught attempting to sell drugs inside her territory. It was a fatal mistake. To make an example of them, Mama injects each of them with slow-mo, forcing their bodies to experience its warped sense of time. With the drug coursing through their veins, she has them thrown from the top of the tower. They plummet hundreds of floors to their deaths, a brutal reminder of her absolute control. Word of this gruesome act quickly reaches Dredd and Anderson, who are dispatched to investigate. Upon arrival, the tower's guards warn them about Mama's reign of terror. They explain that she wasn't always feared. Once an ordinary prostitute and small-time dealer, she was disfigured by a violent client. In retaliation, she killed him and began rising through the criminal underworld, seizing control of the drug trade floor by floor. Now she is the undisputed ruler of the block, feared by every resident inside. Dredd, however, remains unfazed. Determined to uphold the law, he begins his search upstairs with Anderson at his side. As they move deeper into the building, they find entire rooms filled with addicts lost in the haze of slow-mo. Before long, they are ambushed by Mama's armed thugs. Anderson proves herself capable in combat, returning fire while also calling in medics for the wounded bystanders. In the chaos, Dredd captures one of Mama's key enforcers, the very man responsible for executing the 3 victims. Realizing the prisoner could expose her operations, Mama panics. Fearing her secrets will be revealed, she orders the building to be locked down. Massive steel shutters slam into place, sealing off all exits and communications. No one leaves until the judges are dead. Mama makes an announcement over the building's loudspeakers. 2 judges are inside. Kill them, and bring me their bodies. The terrified residents retreat into their apartments, desperate to stay out of the conflict, while her soldiers take up arms. Cut off from headquarters, Dredd and Anderson are left to fight on their own. A squad of Mama's men storm their location, unleashing heavy gunfire. Anderson responds with sharp precision, while Dredd lures them into a gas-filled chamber. He ignites it, incinerating the attackers in a calculated strike. Afterward, he cautions Anderson, their ammunition is limited, and every bullet must count. Escorting Mama's captured lieutenant through the tower, Dredd and Anderson force their way into a frightened woman's apartment to take cover. The terrified resident pleads with them not to bring violence into her home. In desperation, she promises to help them find a way out if they spare her family. Dredd assures her no harm will come to the innocent, then moves on with Anderson toward the upper floors. But Mama is already tracking their movements. She sets up massive automatic cannons across the level and unleashes a hail of bullets, tearing through walls, floors, and civilians. The residents scatter in panic as the gunfire rips through the block, leaving countless innocents dead in the crossfire. Against the odds, Dredd and Anderson survive, narrowly avoiding the carnage through sheer skill and precision. Spotting a ventilation shaft, Dredd climbs through and blasts his way outside, managing to signal headquarters. Meanwhile, Mama celebrates prematurely, believing the judges have been wiped out. But when no bodies are found, she realizes they are still alive, and still a threat. Back inside, Dredd grows certain that Mama's desperation is tied to her lieutenant's capture. He interrogates the man with brutal intensity, demanding answers. The enforcer refuses to talk, but Anderson uses her psychic powers to probe his mind. She uncovers the truth. Mama is manufacturing slow-mo on an industrial scale, producing massive quantities inside the tower and distributing it across the city. Shutting her down won't be easy, it's an empire built from within these walls. Soon, 2 judges arrive at the building in response to Dredd's distress call. They demand the shutters be lifted and the lockdown removed. Mama, however, stalls them with excuses, buying herself more time. As Dredd and Anderson attempt to move their prisoner via elevator, they are attacked again. Dredd incapacitates 2 thugs with a stun blast, but in the chaos, Mama's lieutenant seizes the opportunity. Overpowering Anderson, he holds her at gunpoint and drags her away. Dredd, furious, shouts that Mama's reign of terror is nearing its end, vowing that she will face death for her crimes. Realizing brute force isn't enough, Mama escalates the conflict. She summons 4 corrupt judges, traitors secretly in her pay. They strike a deal, 1 million credits in exchange for Dredd's death. To Mama, the price is insignificant. Eliminating Dredd is worth any cost. The 4 corrupt judges approach the tower. Confronting the 2 legitimate judges outside, they coldly order them to leave, insisting there is nothing more to be done. With the way cleared, the traitors enter the block. One of them, a female judge, remains close to Mama to protect her, while the other 3 move deeper inside, hunting for Dredd and Anderson. Before long, one of the traitors locates Dredd. Pretending to be an ally, he claims he has come to extract him from the tower. But Dredd instantly recognizes the deception. Reading the man's intent, he reacts without hesitation. The corrupt judge lunges at him, but Dredd counters and kills him in close combat. Meanwhile, Mama's captured lieutenant still has Anderson at gunpoint. As he attempts to use her own weapon against her, the gun's biometric lock rejects him. Programmed to recognize only a judge's DNA, the weapon detonates in his hand, blowing it apart. Taking advantage of the moment, Anderson finishes him off with decisive force. Back with Dredd, the fight escalates. Another corrupt judge corners him, but Dredd, running low on ammunition, uses his final bullet to bring the man down. Now unarmed, he is left with only his instincts and experience to rely on. The last male traitor begins stalking him through the halls, confident that Dredd is defenseless. Elsewhere, Anderson encounters the female judge. She approaches calmly, repeating the same lie, that she has come to rescue her. But Anderson's psychic gift exposes the truth instantly: betrayal. Without hesitation, she strikes first, executing the impostor before she has the chance to act. Now, only one corrupt judge remains. Armed and relentless, he advances through the corridors, searching for Dredd. Knowing he cannot face him head-on without ammunition, Dredd hides in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The last corrupt judge finally corners Dredd and fires, hitting him in the stomach. Wounded but unshaken, Dredd warns him not to come any closer. The traitor mocks him, sneering that the once mighty judge is nothing without his weapons. Just as he prepares to finish Dredd off, Anderson appears from behind and shoots him dead. The traitor collapses, bleeding out, leaving the path clear once again. Reloading their weapons, Dredd and Anderson press forward. Along the way, they encounter the man Mama had been using as her unwilling mouthpiece to broadcast her threats. Terrified, he begs for his life. Anderson scans his mind and confirms his plea: he is not truly corrupt, only a victim forced to obey her. She lets him go, and the two judges continue toward their final confrontation. At last, they reach Mama's chamber. Her guards unleash a storm of gunfire, but Dredd cuts through them with ruthless precision. Finally, he stands face to face with the drug lord herself. Calm but cornered, Mama admits she always expected this day would come. She tries to bargain for her life, warning Dredd that the top floor is wired with explosives. If she dies, she claims, the entire tower will collapse, killing not only them but also the tens of thousands of innocents below. Dredd does not flinch. He tells her that her threats mean nothing, the explosives are at the top, far above the residents. With cold finality, he doses her with slow-mo and hurls her out of the window. Time slows as she plummets, her death stretched into a surreal, agonizing fall. She strikes the ground far below, ending her reign once and for all. With the tower secured, Dredd and Anderson return to headquarters. Dredd, a man of few words, gives his final judgment: Anderson has passed her trial. She has proven herself worthy of becoming a judge. The two of them return to the city streets, ready to continue their fight against crime in a world where justice must be delivered without hesitation. The movie closes on this note, with Judge Dredd and Judge Anderson standing as enforcers of law in a society ruled by chaos. And that wraps up the story of Dredd, 2012, a brutal, action-packed ride through a lawless city where justice is delivered at the end of a judge's gun. From Dredd's unshakable resolve to Anderson's transformation into a true judge, the film shows us a world where order is fragile, and survival depends on strength and conviction. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic movie breakdowns. Drop a comment below on which film you'd like to see next, and I'll make sure to bring it to the channel. Until then, stay tuned, more movie recaps are on the way.